place he wants me to go is in Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country, episode 10, Breakdown. The finale, we watched it last week, guys. Are we all, back to normal from this roller coaster ride that we got?
Well, it was necessary to watch it again after our live watch party where I got really distracted by all the comments of you guys. So for me, it felt like that I watched something new. So many things I've seen. And I didn't saw the first time.
No, I have to be honest. I also had to watch it again because, of course, when you're watching together, and I also have to keep an eye on the technique over here and then the comments in the meantime. So you miss something. So I found some new details, and I also got a theory because I think we might have something quite wrong when it comes to Christina and Ruby. So I want to dig into this because I think it might. Put the whole story in a different perspective. I got a little teaser there. We're going to make a breakdown of this 10th episode of the season finale. For the people watching that are not subscribed yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Because of course, Lovecraft Country is done, but this channel is not done, and we will dig into much more movies and series. For example, we are planning to, in a month or so, but at least before the end of the year, do a live reaction of the movie Get Out. Because for the people that have been watching more often our videos, they could have seen that Sven is easily scared, and and Sven hasn't seen that movie yet. Get Out, you haven't seen it, right? No. So that would be interesting to watch that one with you. So we will do that before the end of the year for sure.
And we would love to have your reactions on that review again, of course.
Definitely. We're still thankful for all the reactions we got in the last weeks, but also in our live viewing of the season finale last week. It was great to have some conversations there. Koen, you also watched this episode the second time?
Yeah, and also I was exactly like Sven. I was expecting already to have a really different vibe, especially also because by technical difficulties, the first time we had some echo on the voices.
True.
Which actually it worked in the beginning. It worked good actually. They went back in that room and it was a bit like spooky.
I first thought that it was maybe meant to be like.
I also thought, but it was so extreme that I realized I don't think so. But yeah, so now it was. I had also some moments that some small nuances already in the beginning that I missed completely the first time. So it was necessary to watch it the second time. Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so then we will dig in now to the breakdown of Lovecraft Country, episode 10. Here we go.
I hope you'll forgive me for this one last secret.
All right, guys, Lovecraft Country, episode 10 breakdown. Here we go. I'm gonna, just go through this episode. Some points that I found, some points I want to pause at and talk about with you guys. If you see things you want to talk about, let me know. So we start this episode, of course, when Dee is being brought in, and the first thing we see is how they unbound the book of names. The book opens on a page that shows a sign, and this is the exact sign, of course, as Tics' birthmark that we saw in the previous episodes. It's quite a fun detail, and I think we see it later on also on the belly of what's her name, Hannah. Did you also see that?
Yeah. She shows also like this is the mark that was left.
Exactly. They of course.
This is what they did with on the slave traders. They marked a lot of Afro-Americans.
Okay.
With a reference to it, maybe.
With hot iron spoon or something. They heated up in the fire, and then they marked the skin of a lot of.
So that you think that's a reference to probably to that?
Could be.
Cool.
Very clever observation.
Yeah. You had something to say about this artwork, right, Sven?
It's used already 10 times, but I wanted to put the spotlight on now in the final episode. I really loved the creation of this artwork, this trailer. Like normally trailers are several shots or something. This is just a moving image, and when the image is moving, it feels a bit like a small film because every time there's showing up something else.
Still there's the music under it always.
Yes, exactly, because your head starts when you have the other frame. It starts with a close up of the three main characters. You have the focus on that, and then when it goes wider, you see on top the two scary dolls.
Sven, why you...
name? And you see also on the side, you see the mouth of the Shogoths and the butterflies that were from
earlier episodes.
Early episodes as well. So,
but it seems like Tic and Laddie and Montrose, no?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Why we don't see Hippolyta? That's strange, maybe, no? Or...
Yeah.
Or she's because a character smaller than Montrose's, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should look into too much of for that matter. But no, it's cool, and I think it's also each episode also has its own color. Of course, this is yellow, and the other one was green, and the other one, and that also fits often with the coloring of most of the episodes. And each episode also has its own distinct color palette. Often also, of course, we always have those tones of red and yellow. Those are always returning in each episode, but each episode also has its own genre, but also a bit of its own look and feel, so to say. If you look for example, into the Meet Me in Daegu episode, it's much more greenish color, and I find it fun how they also play around with that.
Yes, true that.
But so when we enter the episode, we see, of course, that Hattie, played by Regina Taylor, tells Laddie that she has to protect the book now, and Hannah tells Tic that he will save them all with her spell. And later on, Dora tells him that Hannah's spell will change everything, and that it is a beginning and not an end. Tic has to become a hero, just like in the stories he cherishes. And then when Tic gets back in the apartment, we see it over here. There's a song playing, and this is the song Easy Living by Billie Holiday. Though I think the original is Billie Holiday. I'm not sure if this version was also of Billie Holiday, but...
Yeah, the version they are listening, you see also on the LP that
it is.
Cover. It's I'm almost sure it's Billie Holiday.
Okay, yeah.
And I also found it on did some research. I found out it's the Billie Holiday version.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I really love these scenes that they go in this internal space or whatever, like parallel universe back to their ancestors, where they
just a bit like time stop there. It's.
Yeah. I think it was the also with the dialogue they try to tell a lot about the theme of the whole series here, because that here it came all together that the younger generation can change something for the good for newer generations. I think that was kind of the conclusion I took out of it. I don't know what you guys heard in that.
Yeah, it makes sense. But I have to be honest, when I was watching it back today, because I wrote out the dialogue myself because I wanted to make sure, like, okay, what are they actually saying here and what are they doing? And we come later on it, maybe also when we review a bit more. I think this episode was way too rushed. Actually, there was too much in it, and by that, the connection with what they set up in the beginning is not enough. Worked out later on in the episode for my feeling. So on its own, good dialogue, nice, but that's the trouble I have more with this series. On its own, the separate parts are often great, but the sum of the parts sometimes is not really working for me. But I get what you mean. If you judge it just solely the scene, absolutely,
Yeah, I was judging solely the scene, but of course, Bas is taking the place to to teach us stories.
Today, I like it.
And mostly he's right, and again in this, but don't forget to
enjoy
the scene. Koen, what did you also enjoy this scene or not so much?
Yeah, but I agree with both of you actually. Because I already said my frustration, my small side parts with this series, but that are similar with Bas. But I very enjoyed this scene, especially the second time I watched it, because I was more relaxed, of course, without doing a live show and also focusing on each other and commenting. But also the audio was better now, of course.
Yeah.
So it was. I would like to see. Actually, they could have prolonged this scene for me. I felt like I was in between worlds, a bit subdued. As time stood still, and It was nice to see Virginia, the actress again, which Hattie. They could have been a bit more. They could have used even her skills as a very good actress more to explain a bit more, maybe about the history, because it was very nice setup, So
And
it felt
nice.
it felt a bit hasty.
Yeah, true that, because it was also the first time I think that Tics saw his mother.
Yeah.
He saw, of course, the young version he saw, but is in the
Yeah, exactly. But the first time we saw again her, and also for me, like if you come back to this whole start, the scene where Tic meets up with his ancestor, what's her name again?
Hannah.
Hannah,
yeah.
Yeah, Hannah. Sorry, yeah. So she explains it. I feel also a bit like they speeded up, they hasted a bit there, because there's so many parts in this whole series that you see that scene where they're running out of the fire.
Yeah.
Also, Letty dreams of it, of course.
Yeah.
With the baby. And then I'm thinking like she explains it now, but it's still, they could have done it longer. It's very nice. It's good done, but we could have enjoyed it a bit longer, I think.
Yeah. But they are here, they have these scenes, and then they get back to the here and now, so to say. Tic explains that they need a physical connection between him, Titus, and Christina to use energy from Christina's spell against Christina in order to take her powers. This is something I really had to watch back, because all this kind of stuff got a bit lost on me the first time when I watched it. Like, okay, what is actually happening? Why is it happening?
Yeah. For me, exactly the same. And here it came also put in place that why they actually want to go to Ardham and to put a spell on Christina and to take actually their magic, to take the power back as a for the black people from the white people who are always repressing them. Exactly.
Yeah.
I had to watch it also back, and also with the previous scene. So I think I missed 60% during our watch show.
Yeah, for sure.
But sorry, Sven, finish.
So I think it's quite strong theme in the end. This final episode.
But I want to discuss on that a bit later with you guys, because I still have some trouble seeing how I should interpret things. But I don't have an answer to that, so maybe you guys can help me out with that.
Okay.
So of course, here Montrose says that. That he makes it clear that Tic will die in the ceremony, because that's what the book states. And Tic says that the book is wrong and that this is just one potential future. But to me, it was quite clear that Tic knows from the beginning that he will have to die.
And Letty also, like in the in-between world, the moment that he walks to her, he sees her, and they both realize, I think it's done. No, that he has to.
I'm not sure, because of course Tic really gets that message from Hannah, but and he tells later to his mother, like, I don't want to die, Mom. And so I think he really realizes, like, I have to die. And I think you see that also throughout the whole episode. You see that he realizes that, though he pretends to the other.
But there was that emotional scene in between the moment.
Yes.
I think I thought, at least for me, I thought she knows what he has to do. That's what I thought.
Okay, that might be. I thought that you meant that Letty also thinks that she has to die.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay,
she knows that he has to die. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I also got that feeling. Yes, he was at least shocked about it all, I think, so to say. But I think she knew what was coming for him. And then we had. After the opening scene, we hear they go to the house of Letty again. They go to the basement, and they see here somewhere in the basement. I think that this is the photo room that you always saw in Red, and there is coming sounds out of it. We were wondering first, what is it?
I was really wondering what it could be. I found it really mysterious how they treated it in this scene, like shocked and put back the floor and put the floor down, and I thought, okay, that's exciting, and then they didn't come back to it, so I was really wondering what it could be.
Do you have a theory?
Yeah, I've been looking into it, and I'm convinced actually that it's and also now that I watched it back and I heard the sounds twice, that it's the Shogoth he's keeping there, and the reasoning behind that, why it's the Shogoth, we will see later on when Gia has her connecting moment with Christina and with Tic. We get a vision sequence of things we see that happened before, so to say, and that gives quite some fills in quite some gaps about what we don't know what happened. So that will be an interesting sequence to dig into later in this breakdown also. But there you can see that Tic has a Shogoth in his care. So what we hear here is a Shogoth that he actually kept. And I guess that's the Shogoth, of course, that showed up in the episode when the police were surrounding the house.
Okay.
Exactly. So probably we saw, of course, that he held his hand towards the Shogoth. He calmed him down more or less in that episode. So apparently they took him inside and put him into the shelter.
Nice place to keep.
Yeah, who doesn't want a Shogoth in his basement?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's this one, and then they go, of course, here we see him looking through it. Then they go down with the elevator again. The elevator, of course, that we also already saw in a lot of episodes. And while these scenes are playing, we hear the song Ready or Not by Highland Park Collective featuring Grizzle.
Great song. Really up-tempo. Giving a lot of confidence and positive energy to go on a trip like this.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was wondering about the shoes of Letty.
The shoes?
Yeah, she had kind of a sneaker. I was a bit surprised that they were wearing that in the 50s.
Yeah. Okay, now that you say.
She was wearing the same in the previous episode, which also was so strange with that scene that she had to go through the fire, of course, and all the bombs from the planes. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine with the great production design and set design and those kind of things that they made a slip up a la Game of Thrones with the Starbucks coffee cup. But
that was on purpose, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. You never know. But no, a sharp eye. I didn't think of it. But they get into the tomb, of course. This tomb, of course, we also already seen. There was a lot in this episode, a lot of scenery that we saw in earlier episodes. So everything more or less came together in this episode. This was, of course, full circle. Yep. This was, of course, the tomb that we saw underneath the museum in the Indiana Jones episode.
I really thought Harrison Ford would show up, but for some snakes at least. Where are the snakes?
I hate snakes.
The white man were the snakes.
Yeah, the white man were the snakes because, of course, we saw here Titus showing up.
Yeah,
the man that we heard a lot of talking about. Here, I found a bit again. They had to move quickly. A lot of story points were not greatly executed, I think. Better than in some episodes, but I think here they were a bit on the convenient side again with he can't escape out of the circle, but just to go out and show up exactly where Christina is, he can go out for a bit and tell her, hey, they have the book, and then get back.
Yeah, exactly. And also, this is actually, they talk the whole freaking season about this guy. Yeah. He shows up and he's gone and beaten in like literally, I think, 50 seconds or something. It's a bit of it's just a bit too fast.
He was supposed to be the big bad for my sake. I mean that's one of I don't see Christina as the big bad. So that's I think a bit of a trouble that I have with the series overall, that it lacks a real villain, despite this of course the Lancasters and the white oppressors, so to say. But the villain in flesh, that's Christina. And like I said last week, I was still not sure about if she really is, and I'm still not sure of, and I will touch on that later, if she is the real enemy.
Maybe they didn't want to personalize it in one character. They wanted to, because it's a social theme about society, and they didn't want to put it on one person.
That might be with the risk that you maybe make it too much polarized, so to say, that it becomes, and that's something I feel a bit sometimes, black against white.
Yeah, but, I think that was. 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 I think that was a conscious decision, and I think in this time maybe it was quite realistic. In the 50s of America.
Yeah, okay, like that you mean, yeah.
Although, yeah, of course, there were probably also people thinking different, white people. But I think this series, but then we go in the season review, I think, is about bringing consciousness and awareness and attention for a lot of facts and struggles these people have and had, especially had and still have.
Yeah.
And, so.
Yeah, and they do that. They do that very well. We touched on it a lot of times. But still, I have some trouble, and I'm not sure. And I want you guys to talk with me about maybe a bit more towards the end of this breakdown, also in the review, that they do that very strongly. But I'm still not sure what they really try to say in the end, what the overall message is that they want to send out. I'm so in that way, for me, it is not maybe perfectly strong communicated.
Yeah, especially with the end. And also
exactly, especially with the end, yeah. So we will get to that at the end. But I think there I have to feel like, okay, what are you exactly saying here? And is that a message that is supporting anything? I don't know.
I will say one thing already then to hook on that. Just one, I think they went again way too fast. And that's also why they didn't deliver the message maybe they wanted fully.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say for this scene, we forget, not the most important thing, but for me, a very special thing is they ruined the Bentley.
Yeah.
They ruined the Silver Shadow here. Like, why? They broke it.
I didn't feel your pain with that, Koen.
It's a beautiful car.
But so to continue, we see this, of course, Christina getting launched out of the car, right away getting up, which I loved, by the way, if you have the eye for the detail, which they have a lot in this series, is that she wears here a black outfit. Mm-hmm. Later on in the towards the end, she has the white outfit. And then when she has the blood, the whole dress more or less turns red. So that's quite, I found it quite cool and of course intentional of the set design and costume design, so to say.
Yeah, nice. Good detail.
Well, Titus returns back. He cuts out a piece of his heart. Something we of course saw already in episode 2. You mentioned it already in the live reaction, Koen, that we saw that Samuel Braveheart also took a part out of his body to give it to the lodge members. Serve it.
Yeah, and the strange thing was that I remember, I didn't have time to watch the second episode again, but I remember that he mentioned it was a part of his liver, but he cuts it here. And it seems like the heart here.
Here it's definitely the heart. Maybe it doesn't matter what part it is, as long as you give a part. Probably it's also something symbolic again, I guess, that it's the heart of this man that he cuts from. I guess
very brutal.
It's very brutal. But it was quite cool.
Yeah, nicely done.
I think, but we come there right now. I think the ancestor and his mother are still standing there.
Yeah.
I liked the way he looked at his mother before she was disappearing. I found it quite. There was picking some emotion out of it, like, and that came through the screen for me. That I really saw that he was feeling small and a child in front of his mother, and knowing that she will disappear, and he had to let her disappear as well. With this magic and that it also was kind of, maybe he felt a bit of a mission, to maybe also sacrifice his own life in name of the family, in name of the whole community, because that was also communicated in the scene before, where they were in this parallel world with the ancestors. And
you will save them all. Yeah.
You will save them all. And Regina, her real name, I don't know.
Hetty. Her real name is Regina, but
exactly. Was talking to Letty also, that she should do raise your children without the fear.
Exactly.
Of this generation. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't pass it on, so to say. Yeah. Don't make the same mistakes also. Yeah.
And I felt a bit,
nicely put.
and how he was looking at his mother here,
Yeah.
think that was with non-verbal communication also told.
Yeah. Then we have, of course, Christina getting into the shop. I actually also missed this for some reason. I missed that, and that makes me also doubt a bit the whole Christina thing and makes her less of a villain to me. That she actually offered to leave them alone in exchange for the book.
Yeah.
And Tic said no. Yeah, why didn't they take it?
Why actually he said no? Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I was also wondering.
Why does he care that she gets invulnerable? Why does he care?
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I was also wondering why, because if we would suggest some options, what would you think about?
No, but I was thinking about
this implies. Sorry, but this implies then that Tic knew that if I do what I do, then the black people get the magic and the white people don't. But I don't think he knew that at this time.
No, I think that could be an analysis. I was also thinking about.
Me too.
It could be a big reason, of course, but Tic was only trying to protect his family and his unborn child. That was the whole thing, I think. I don't think he knew that by doing this, the black community will get get the power over the white people in the sense because they have magic. Yeah. I don't think he knew that at this time. But
well, they just talked with the ancestors, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
they didn't say that, did they?
He will save them all.
Yeah.
So I think
he will save them all, but not.
Yeah, but I think it's for him clear that, and that's also what they hint on a lot. You have in one point in the church with Laddie, you have a scene where Laddie says like you have the God or Christ in you. I see that in you, and our son will also have that. At the end, he's almost literally crucified, so to say. So he is being made into this savior, Jesus kind of figure, Messiah. So I think that's what they're playing on. Like, okay, I can give you now what you want, but it won't further the cause for the long run. It's just a save for my family, but not for the bigger issue. That's what I could theorize. Also, yeah.
Yeah, and what also was reminding me, he was willing to kill Christina in some earlier episodes. I think episode 3.
The gun, yeah.
And then he was not able. So he already felt really early that she was in some kind of way an enemy to him. But on the other hand, it was not really great explained. Not like you can call it convenient storytelling again, Bas. But
no, I think in this case not convenient. I think in this case it's just not worked out enough. There's just too little time. They have too little scenes to explain stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. And
also if we talk about this further, what is the reason why she wants invulnerability? Actually, it also doesn't.
Yeah, immortal.
Immortality. Sorry, yeah.
Immortality. Yeah, that's also not. But I think
why she really wants that.
Yeah, and I think also
I think that's a symbol. I think that's the whole symbolism of white versus
ultimate white privilege power.
Yeah, white privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still not sure about if that's what she represents. For me, that's much.
If she would get it, this means that other white men will respect her more. I don't think so. Why?
And she's I believe she's very much into Ruby. I feel with guys like Lancaster, guys like Titus, those stand much more for the white oppressive people than Christina. I think there's a lot of.
But let's say
about Christina.
And let's say Lancaster was still alive, and Christina would achieve immortality.
Yeah.
Would Lancaster give a shit? Like, honestly,
if Christina would gain immortality,
no.
Yeah, like Lancaster would listen to her and respect her as much as she wants. I don't think so. Still,
because that's the
only thing is she cannot die. Yeah, okay, you can also ignore her. Then you're like, it's not so. It's the reasoning behind her. Wanting this so bad.
She white supremacy. That's what it is, and it's not about Lancaster versus Christina. Then it's about...
but she's always, from the moment that we saw her in episode 2, of course, she was always like she wasn't allowed to be at the table even.
Exactly, it's more feminism than white supremacy with her.
Yeah, it's feminism with her. It's not about white privilege with her. And the thing is that if she achieves this now, okay, she in a way she. Like the people that were supposed to be impressed by this are all dead. So for who is she doing this then? what she wants to achieve with this in the end. It's not really clear.
And it might be, and that's what we touch on later, but it might be that they set something up for season 2, because otherwise, I really hope that a lot of things they did in this last episode are set up for season 2, because otherwise I really don't get some choices that they made.
I'm pretty sure Tic didn't die.
Well, that's also with this series. With the series, almost for sure that nobody really dies, and that also diminishes a bit the feeling for this, so to say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tic didn't die.
But the thing with Ruby is, for me, not a reason to think that she is not pro white supremacy or pro white privilege, because I think she used Ruby for her own benefit. She was not really in love with Ruby.
No, that I fully don't agree on. I really disagree on that. Yeah. She's clearly, for me, and that's also what a scene later for me shows how I interpret it. I think she was really in love with Ruby, and well, I think there's more to that story than we know, but that's we hold it again as a teaser because I want to discuss it later with you guys.
About your theory, actually.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But if we go on, well, of course, Tic refuses, and then she walks away and takes away the invulnerability spell from Laddie. So we see that over here, of course. So she's quite revengeful here, at least it seems.
Yeah.
Then next we see they get all back.
What did that have to do with anything?
Well, that's also what I wanted to discuss with you guys, because we see they all arrive back at Laddie's home, and across the street we see new neighbors moving in. It's black neighbors, and we also see that this when they get into the house, that the protection sign of the house, which made it Lancaster, for example, couldn't enter, fades away. So at this point, I was suspecting, oh no. Now they can come in. Shit is about to hit the fan. But then nothing happens. So then I thought this scene and this scene. Yeah, the only thing I could interpret it is like things are starting to look better. So we get now black neighbors, and we don't need the protection anymore.
Yeah, that's the second link. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
I think, but in one way, it also feels a bit out of place, because I have the feeling that this series doesn't send out a lot of positive messages, so to say, on this matter. So that's why, can it be? Or...
Yeah, it makes the most sense, I think, because otherwise I was thinking why these are black people are now suddenly allowed to also live there, because of course also it makes sense because the Lancaster police thing was also destroyed.
Exactly.
And that's why maybe they feel safe now finally to be able to live there without bullshit from those stupid morons. And
they have a Shogoth.
Also that. It's like their own personal little Lord of the Rings story, like epic. Yeah.
But yes, there was a scene. Then we move into the jihad thing. The jihad.
Jihad
scene. Well, of course. But I was wondering if you know this, guys.
Why she wears red?
Well, why she wears red, but she has this headpiece. And if you look at the back, there's also a white woman sitting also with a headpiece like that. And I saw another woman also with this headpiece. Maybe it's just the fashion of that time, but I thought like, is that also something maybe feminist, like they were not
on the piano or on the bar.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought maybe women were not allowed to enter without a headpiece, or
no. I don't think in those times it was the one from Jihad looks more almost Jewish because it's on the back of the head actually more. Yeah,
but I think I looked closer at some other shots, and I think it's more or less the same as the other woman is wearing.
Oh, that's. You didn't find anything on the internet about it?
No, so I thought I'd just throw it in here. I already figured that you probably also didn't know, but I thought that at least our viewers can see if they can help us with this.
Out if you guys know anything, please.
Exactly.
And also, first of all, why is she wearing fully red also?
Yeah, and later on, she's also wearing black. So they're really playing with the black, white, red here. I think red stands for the blood, well, at least with Christina, I think I did, like the blood that it's on her hands, so to say. Yeah. So that was interesting. What was interesting also here when she has the conversation with Tic is that she tells Tic what the shaman had said. And the shaman had said to her that she shouldn't be concerned with mortal things, that Tic will die, and that she is destined to enter the darkness. And this is quite a setup for later on in the episode, because of course here we figure like, okay, Gia will go bad, will go to the dark side, so to say. But I think in the end we see that it means that she meant something other different, the shaman.
Yes. Yeah.
Then we get into this,
and it was nice, this conversation, because we felt a bit for Gia in I think the 8th episode when she came all the way to Chicago she was being called by Tic to come actually, and then she came and he was really rude to her, and now he finally was able to have a normal conversation with her and to explain why things happened
and apologize also for that conversation
apologized. So I felt
it showed the human side that we actually know from Tic. That's why it was so weird how he reacted then, of course.
Yeah. I felt better after this scene.
Yeah, definitely. I really love Tic in this whole show. I really like his character arc, and also all the struggling he's been through. And I think he's one of the best worked out characters in this show. Most complete character.
And the acting work of this guy is amazing.
Amazing. We will see a lot more of this guy. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah.
Then we move into the scene at the cemetery. Here we start getting into the Ruby, Letty, Christina triangle thing. Of course, we see them here having a conversation about family. They are at the cemetery, the grave of their mother, Eloise Baptiste. They have a conversation about the family, and Letty wants Ruby to help them get a body part of Christina so that they can complete the binding spell. But the conversation doesn't go great, and Ruby is about to walk off angry, as then Letty tells her to wait and that there's more that she should know. And we, of course, never hear what is said afterwards. So that's one thing that's already interesting for what's to come.
I thought she would tell that she's pregnant.
Yeah, I was thinking, did she now already tell? I thought that Ruby already knew in a earlier episode.
Yeah.
I had the feeling everybody already knew by this time. But I'm not completely sure. I couldn't really figure out. I have the feeling there was a moment in one of the earlier episodes that they had a conversation about this. But
it could be that I think it was 8 or 9 then. 9 that Dee was being sick at bed, and that Ruby called Christina to erase the spell.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was in a room, and then Montrose shouted it out or so. I
think so. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I have the feeling, but I can't say
That's
for
true.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Then, but I'm also not 100% sure. So, and I forgot it, and now you mention it, and now it's in my mind. Well, what else could it be? What she would say there?
I have no idea. The thing that I was thinking is that it simply might be a misdirect. So intentionally put out there to put us on a certain track, so to say, especially with what comes later in the episode. So it gets us a bit doubting about which side Ruby is actually on. Because, of course, by not seeing this, the writers create the tension like, okay, what is being said? And is Ruby now, in the end, doing what Letty wants, or will she not? So maybe it doesn't really matter what she said, but it's just a writing device. But I'm not sure what she could have said that could have made Ruby change her mind. And I actually think with something that is later in the episode that she didn't change her mind, actually.
Yeah, so this means this was the real Ruby and the other one wasn't.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But you mean that Ruby didn't change her mind and choose not to help Letty?
Exactly.
But that's actually already a given, of course, because we know that
it doesn't mean that she would help Christina then, because that's another decision on itself too.
Exactly. But I think she did. But we just keep going. We will get there.
You think that the Ruby that gave the thing was also really Ruby?
No, definitely not.
No.
But we almost there. But then we go on to we have this Emmett Till. Of course, at one point Dee is scribbling a bit in a newspaper, and we see this newspaper, all white, all male jury acquits Emmett Till's murderers, which of course connects to the real life story where they were released by this all-white male jury. And later on, just a couple of months or a year later, I think they confessed in a magazine which paid them $4,000 or $5,000. They laid out the whole story how they did it. It's really insane.
Nothing happened to them again?
No, it's insane.
Of course.
Yeah.
White privilege in those times.
Yeah, it's really insane.
Yeah.
And also again, mentioned here Jim Crow on the right.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
The Jim Crow states, the south of the southern states, where I think out of my head mentioned, I think he was the guy who worked against a lot of rights for Black Afro Americans. So that's what he was famous for. He can't read the whole.
Jim Crow press at Till, so it also has to do with the Till thing. Also, the other article, Collins denies any link to Till. So the whole newspaper is filled with the Till story, of course.
Yeah.
But I think we touched on it on the Jim Crow thing. I think in the first episode they also did some mention of it there. Yeah.
With the sundown states.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And she's trying to draw, and she was left-handed, and it doesn't seem to work how she wanted, and she was most talented with her left hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have to come back, by the way, later, what the hell happened to the hand? Because I only saw that she was cured, but the hand was still the same, and suddenly at the end of the season she has no hand anymore.
I think they just took it off. Yeah, that's something. But I think that's actually something we also see in the Vision. But I will touch on that in the Vision scene. Okay. She of course gets this comic from Hippolyta, Orifia Blue Asteri. I'm not sure if Asteri is something. I want to look into it, but I didn't have the time in the end. So if people watching know what Asteri could stand for, if it's important, let us know. But of course, this was drawn by Hippolyta. Quite impressive. Quite a professional comic book she could draw. And here Hippolyta says, of course, that because Dee asks how she learned to draw, and she answers with that's an artist named Afua told her so that she could teach Dee. And this is a reference to Afua Richardson, which is a real-life African Native American artist who drew also all of Dee's artwork for this show. So that was quite
cool.
Nice. Yeah.
Very impressive what she did.
Yeah, very nice that they give her a nod to her, so to say.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, then Hippolyta comes in, of course, and takes her to that room. We hear the sounds. It really made me feel, remind me of the Star Wars scene with Luke Skywalker. What doesn't? Yeah, this is Star Wars is my whole reference.
Oh my god!
But
the whole day like. This is not the groceries that you have to do or something.
Exactly. Well, always when I enter at the grocery and there's those sliding over, I have to do
that. No fucking way. I wouldn't keep up with this, if you want to have a long, healthy relationship.
I have no any clue what you're talking about.
No, exactly. One day we'll get you there, Sven. One day we'll get you there.
Really. That's not possible.
But yeah, okay, so Dee enters this room. She hears those sounds. So that was, of course, the robot arm. What I was interested in is that she looks this direction, but then she also, where the sound comes from, because she looks also through the whole room. So this whole room has things standing there. At first I was wondering what, but later on in the vision sequence of the GI, I think I got the answer there. But so at least she gets her robot arm she sees here. Here we go, guys. We go to the Ruby Christina basement scene, and this is one that I'm very interested about. How you feel about it? Okay. So we see them get into this basement scene. So this is quite a crucial scene. However we explain it, it's a crucial scene for what's to come, for the plot twist. Yeah. And I think we might have gotten it wrong. In this scene, we see Christina telling Ruby that she has been going over the details of her spell. Christina explains that she used the energy of William's death for his rebirth. For the body, she combined parts of her blood, hair, and nails with his. She puts the little bottle then down on the table. So we see here that there's very little left in it. This is actually, I think, on its own, a first hint that something is off later on, because the bottle that Ruby gives is completely filled with the
Yeah,
the material of, so that's a different bottle than this one. So by that, we can already maybe know that it's not really Ruby. Because if she would have taken the bottle, it would have been this bottle. Ruby stares at the little bottle. Christina asks if something is wrong. And Ruby then answers that she was just wondering when Christina got all that from her. And then she remembered. This was the first thing that I thought, what does Ruby mean? She was looking at it and I was just wondering when you got this all from me. And then I remembered.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Well, what I think is that she means the tissue from Ruby, that she already has the material she needs from Ruby. And so that it is already worked. I have the feeling from this whole scene, I get the feeling that they set this up together. They are on the same page, that Ruby is actually working together with Christina, and she lets Christina turn into her to make her plan work in the end. And well, this is one of the things that I was wondering.
Because if they work together, boss, why she couldn't just give the thing to Letty herself?
What do you mean? About what thing?
Why Christina had to go into Ruby's body to do the thing that she had to do? Why Ruby couldn't do it herself if they were on the same page? What is the reason that Christina went to the body of Ruby?
Yeah, I don't know. To create a distraction, to make the plan work, because she knows, of course, or get the book of names, because she knows they have the book of names.
Yes.
Well, why Ruby couldn't do it herself? That's what I mean.
Yeah, that could also be. Yeah, there you got a point there. I have to think on that.
She's scared maybe she would fall. They will see what she's up to, but
Ruby has Ruby has no power. But what I wonder about, what does this sentence mean? And of course, it's not far-fetched, because Ruby already turned out that Ruby is okay with Tic dying. She doesn't care about that, because we were already in an earlier episode, of course, we heard her saying like, okay, I'm with you, but don't hurt my sister. Don't kill my sister. So that was already like, okay, we know that.
Yeah, but there I was still on doubting that she was playing with Christina in not showing that she was concerned to infiltrate her plan. That could also.
Yeah, I also felt the whole scene like especially the beginning. It seemed a bit like Ruby was just a bit like snooping on Christina. So what is she up to? You know.
I think that's.
If we go back to your analysis, Bas, if it's true that Ruby would choose for Christina to make her plan come through, and it could be a good analysis that Christina would go in the body of Ruby to grab the book of names from Letty instead of Ruby herself, because maybe Ruby herself was not 100% sure that she would be capable of in cheating on her sister on a crucial moment. That could be an analysis. That's why Christina did it in the body of Ruby, because she had no feelings towards Letty. But then, why would Ruby collaborate with
Love? Because there's this scene later on.
Yeah, the kiss scene.
Yeah, well, they later on have a conversation. In this scene, they have a conversation where they talk about. Christina opens the book and she starts saying that she has concerns if her spell might work. Yeah. And that she might kill off the rest of her family for nothing. And this is, of course, Tic, the rest of her family. So it's not that Christina in this whole episode, you see that she's not pure evil. She wants what she wants, but she does feel like, it might not work. And then I kill off my last family member for nothing. So I'd rather not do it. That's clear that she rather not kills him. But and then Ruby answers with, your spell is going to work. And she says, you have me now. And that I found a very interesting line. You have me now. I think she literally has her. She literally can use Ruby in this situation. You have me now. Christina, and then afterwards she asks, have you ever? And then Ruby answers, no, it's my first time. That was also like, okay, what did you guys think about that one? I think there's a lot of interpretation, room for interpretation with the scene. It's not spelled out. They don't spell out like, okay, Ruby, this is Ruby takes it. They don't show it. They don't spell it out. And I think there's a reason for that.
And also Ruby never had anything in favor of Tic, to be honest.
Nee.
Okay,
She
but
never liked
what
him, I
with-
think.
Yeah, okay, but to let somebody die is quite a step for me, especially when it's your brother-in-law. Also, you don't have the great relationship with your sister. It still means quite a step.
Yeah, but don't forget that Ruby brutally murdered someone. Remember?
And she did find a place now, of course, with
Yeah.
Christina. She found finally love. If we interpret it like this, it's going to, of course, also still be like you say that she's playing Christina, but I have the feeling what they have is real also with the things Christina does, because later on we see also that Laddie gets the invulnerability spell back from Christina. Christina puts the invulnerability spells back at Laddie to save her life.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
Yeah, true. When actually she died when she fell from the tower, and then when she got immortal, then she gave back the.
No, she does it already at that moment. We show that later on in the vision. You see when you have the vision of GR, you see in the scene when she falls down and she stands at the window. You see that Ruby, Christina as Ruby, speaks out the spell, the invulnerability spell. Yeah. And it is, of course, that she promised Ruby that she wouldn't hurt her sister. But if Ruby went against Christina, would she still keep that promise? That also doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but again, it's not clear at all. That's the problem.
No, but I think by not making it
set up for season 2, but
exactly by not making it clear, for me it becomes clear, so to say, because I think it wouldn't. If it was clear, I think they would just spell it out.
Yeah, also true. Yeah,
but then still, if love is the only reason to collaborate, I found it for this series a little bit of a disappointment. With all the social themes they are participating in this series. But
how Sven? Because the family love between the two sisters never was really there.
On the other hand, you can also say I'm just analyzing my own analyze. If there is love between black and white, it's actually a great.
That's what I wanted to say. I feel like that we finally then have in the series also a coming together, which is very little in this episode, in this series, I think.
Yeah. But then Christina's dying.
And then it's very brutal what Dee is doing. And that's what I want to get at. That I have... that's what I mean with I hope that this is the setup for season 2, because I think that would make this story way more interesting altogether, and we create a new villain for season 2. That's for sure for me who that will be then. Dee. Also with some scenes later on we also will touch on, but I think there's a lot more to this end now that I analyzed it than that it on the surface seems to be.
Yeah. And
if it isn't like that, then like I said, I think they didn't explain it well enough, because they leave a lot of room for speculation. And I think they portray Christina very much not as a full out villain, with also now saving Laddie and those kind of things. And
her argumentation for her motivation to become immortal, she said that otherwise I killed my last family member for nothing. I think she said it also in this scene or the scene after. I think that was referring to William.
Nee, to Tic. William is not a family member. Tic is a family member. Tic is her last family member. Tic has her blood.
Yes, I know.
And William is no family. William is no brother. William was a friend, at most a love interest.
Oh.
Yeah, but also we forget the part that she says that she wants him to die every time again, over and over again, right?
Who?
William.
Yeah, she doesn't want that. She doesn't want that for him.
No, she did want that. No, that's what she said.
No, she didn't want that for him. She said in the Lancaster scene that each time that William did that, he had to die all over again. That's what I want for you. That's what she told Lancaster. Because
but she said something about this in this episode. No, I forgot.
No, I didn't. No, I'm pretty sure not.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong then. Sorry.
No, because I think she really cared for William, and that's. She did say what she said is that she took the life the essence of dying to bringing him back to life. So she took the energy from his dying to bringing him back to life. That's how it worked, more or less. And one thing that's for sure, I think, is that Ruby is at most in a coma and not dead.
Yeah,
that's
I think so too.
That's what we also see in the vision. But let's move on, because there's more to this point, I think, where we can discuss them. But I put it out there now, where we can see look from two angles at the end of the episode. And how did you take them? I wanted to ask you also, like, the last sentences of this scene were that Christina asks, "Have you ever?" And then Ruby answers with, "No, it's my first time." The first thing I was thinking, like, it could be like having sex with a woman, because I think they till now only made love or it is the transformation process that they are going into. It's also like, what is the first time?
Yeah, well, there's probably a second layer if we know this series, but my interpretation was it's the first time I kiss a woman.
Kiss, yeah, could be. I did feel here towards the end also that she softened, and that they were I really felt it was sincere what was happening here between those two. I really didn't feel she was playing her. But
I don't know.
For that, the character of Christina was not that worked out well for me. You could say, referring to the Emmett Till episode, where she seemed not to show a lot of affection with the emotions of Ruby, and after that she did this experiment to feel.
I started laughing really creepy after.
Yeah, to try to feel what Ruby was feeling. Then she was laughing or
crying, laughing, crying. Yeah, what was she doing there? Was she?
I think it was laughing really, like many. Many call. You say this,
but it was not clear enough.
No, true also.
And for me, it's also not 100% clear that Ruby is really in love with her.
No, I'm not saying 100%, but I lean towards that scenario now, especially also with what she does for Laddie later on. If Christina is really evil and Ruby really tried to take the potion from her, so double-crossed her, why would Christina then keep Laddie alive? That doesn't make any sense. If Christina is really evil, at least.
Yeah, she's not typical, like, super purely blood evil. No, that's true.
Hey, but she just got screwed over by Ruby, and then she keeps her sister alive, who she doesn't really like. That doesn't really make sense.
We met her, and how she interacts after her father talks, how she interacts with Tics. She's never been really that evil, to be honest.
No, but that's what I mean. She's not I never saw her as the pure villain in this. More Lancaster and those kinds of things.
True.
Yeah, and Titus and the Brave Whites, the other Brave Whites.
Yeah, but that was also actually appearing in, I think, episode 2, that she was also like this feministic side was being supported through her character, and maybe that was also a part that they wanted to include, and they didn't want to really make it clear good and bad, I think, when it comes to her character, Christina's character.
Yeah.
And maybe,
But then I do wonder if we work towards the end, because of that, I don't really get the when Dee does her thing, the villain is defeated feeling, so to say.
No, I didn't have that also.
No, exactly.
The first time I was quite disappointed, but then I also didn't get all of the storyline. Now I got the storyline. I had a bit more understanding for it. From the perspective of Dee and the perspective of the family you are traveling with these 10 episodes. And you feel sorry for people that lost Tic. And in that sense, you can kind of feel a bit of revenge feeling, but I found it a bit overreacted anyway. I said it also in the live watch, that I found it quite brutal ending. Yeah.
I loved the shock effect of it, but let's maybe discuss more when we get to the end. But there's enough to dig into.
I don't think it's so strange coming from Dee, seeing her best friend being so brutally murdered and lynched and whatever.
Yeah. And I also think it sets up something for season 2. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah. Maybe they're gonna go Jurassic Park style, like you said, with the roar of the Shogoth.
Yeah, I also have something about that which might also be interesting maybe when it comes to Ruby Christina story. But
Okay.
so we have this scene, if we continue.
How many theories you have for us at the end?
No, it's all connected. I made it into one big theory.
Okay, nice.
As long as COVID is not involved,
If 5G happened in the Shogoth and Bill Gates, no, exactly, yeah.
Whoa, don't get me started. But no, we get here into the store and Tic. I found this a beautiful scene actually with the music also. He takes more or less one last scene at his friends, knowing like, okay, this is the less peaceful moment we're gonna have. Here's what it's
so bad for Tic already here, man. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we hear the song "I Am Blessed," Nina Simone, of course.
Yeah, nice.
It was a very beautiful scene, beautiful. I think.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then Ruby shows up and she gives Larry a full bottle of the potion. Well, that's what I touched on before. Yeah, exactly. Ruby/Christina. One of our viewers touched on it. He said, like, you can see how she acts different, and you can really see that the actress tries to have a bit the Christina mannerisms, so to say.
Well, I was really watching carefully because of this comment, but I could not really analyze it. How did you saw it? Yeah,
I think it was a sort of a more. There was a certain mannerisms that Christina has when it comes to the smile and the moving of the mouth, that I had the feeling that she tried.
Hands.
And the hands, there was all very small things that when I started very much paying attention, I felt like, okay, the actress is doing something different here than Ruby's often a bit more angry, so to say, in her expressions. And I saw a bit more the Christina mannerisms in it. But maybe I also just wanted to see it. That can be, of course.
Like Ruby's more in your face stuff, but honest, and Christina's more fake warm, like
exactly, yeah.
And the hands, I saw it a bit in the hands.
Diplomatic, a bit more cool and distant.
Yeah, a bit like typical fake. Yeah.
But so she gives the full potion. Well, we already touched on this a bit before, like the empty bottle here. Now it's a full one. So that's could have already maybe be a hint. You can also make a theory, of course, that maybe she filled it up or something. But it could already have been a hint. Then I think
it's Maybelline. It was.
It was what?
Maybelline.
Maybe she's born with it.
Exactly.
Maybelline.
Sorry, bad joke. Very bad joke.
But they get into the car, and then we have this scene which we all liked, I think. The sing-along.
Yes, it was even a better scene than the scene we discussed before. For me, I found it really lovely.
Yeah.
And warm. Also, the way you see Dee as a party starter, actually. Smiling. You see everybody smiling and really human. And that's what I think, I missed sometimes a bit, like the human factor, because the last episodes were quite
serious.
Well, a bit cold, also a bit distant. No, what you mean, Sven? Or not?
No, there was a lot of heavy emotions, and season episode 1 started, for my feeling, really also like this. They were music in the streets. They were really showing daily life, and that disappeared a bit because of
they kept their emotions a lot after that to themselves. I felt they dealt with a lot of bad shit, but they kept it to themselves. And here again, they somehow connect again a bit. I think as a family.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Although we know now, maybe Ruby was not Ruby and Christina. I found that then.
Well, you know? Yeah,
you feel a bit cheated as well. And I think and she's cheating them also quite good. And I was wondering, this potion, for my feeling, it never worked so long. Normally it would work for some hours. And here they are traveling all the way with the car. And she's, I don't know, I found it a bit hard to believe. But yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's just something we have to go along with. I have the feeling, just for the conveniency. They did like that,
Convenient, Also, the cap that Hippolyta wears, I don't think they had those in those times, did they?
It's a base. I do think they had those, right? A baseball cap.
Yeah, but not like this with the flat cap.
Maybe not.
It's
No.
more new era, I think. It's more
Yeah,
like
it could
in the
be.
90s or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know actually. Maybe in the US they did.
She was in the future. Maybe she got it somewhere.
Hey,
You
it
don't know.
could be.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but okay, we have this scene. Of course, we hear the song, and it was also what someone pointed out already. Of course, that we could see here that it was Ruby, because apparently I forgot about this, but the song that they play in the car is the Shaboom song by the Chords.
Life could be a dream.
What did you say?
Life could be a dream.
Life could be a dream, and apparently this song was also in the first episode, and Ruby found it boring there, and here she really went along with it. So that was already a hint. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of our viewers pointed that out. I didn't get that either, but here she really happily sings along, while she found it very boring in the first episode. A stupid song.
Oh, really?
It's a historical, it was a big hit in the 50s.
Yeah.
It became a top 10 in the charts, and it's also being used, interpreted by artists afterwards in different versions, and it's used a lot in other films and series.
Okay. Yeah, I like the song, especially with the whole atmosphere, how they said it. It was like you really had the feels for it. This road trip with all of them in there, and
and you see Montrose is the latest also.
Yeah,
he finally gets into it. He's also the more shy one in a way, with his portraying his emotions in a way.
Exactly.
But Tic again driving to his destiny, was so smiling.
And then they, of course, get to Artham, and there Tic takes a piece of the heart of Titus and the potion of Christina. Well, he thinks at least that it's the potion of Christina, making himself ready for the binding spell.
I found it funny what Montrose said to him about before taking it. It's like tequila shot, or what did he say?
Sure. Yeah, something.
He made a little joke about it, and then he gave him the boost to.
Yeah. It's disgusting to eat this, man. Holy
shit. Well, why not?
What I was wondering is, like, after the scene, Montrose disappears and comes back like in a kind of a coma state. I was wondering what happened after him. Did you guys?
He was on the bridge. He was on the bridge when the big fight took place. He made on the bridge a trail of salt again. You see in one of the shots. Then he goes to the Tic ceremony, and I think there he passes out when Tic is being tortured, because you see him laying then on the floor. I think he just passed out because of what's being done to his son. To say.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that was not really great explained.
No, true.
No, it was not. It was not explained.
Where the hell did Montrose? What happened to him? Yeah, I also thought it.
But he was seen after this scene.
Okay, because normally I would not find it the guy to pass out, because normally he was always saving his son and being really brave.
Or the villagers maybe beat him down, because the villagers brought them all, of course, Hippolyta, because they were all captured at the bridge brought to that place. So maybe Montrose did put in a fight. I did have the feeling, by the way, that there were quite some scenes, because of the length of this episode, that they had to cut out. I think there's quite some material left on the cutting board, so to say, for this episode. So I think they really had to... that's maybe, again, a bit what they... But what makes that you miss some things here and there, because they really had to put in a lot into this episode, and also a lot into the series in the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But here we see how they arrive at the bridge. They make signs, of course.
Oh, this is the tower.
Yeah, no, the bridge.
This is the tower.
No, the bridge. There's no tower. Here. There's no tower.
Man. The bridge, sorry. This is the bridge, yeah.
It's the bridge from the...
But Letty is in the tower.
You're right. I thought it was the bridge. I thought they were all at the same place. It was not clear to me, because they intercut it also at some point when they're fighting. They're all fighting together, and I thought they're all fighting at the same place. But apparently she's at the tower and the other ones are at the bridge. Because they are at the bridge. Hippolyta, Montrose, and Gia. Oh yeah,
here you see Montrose inderdaad. It's making this line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is also the bridge. And this is also the bridge. But Gia is at... that's why I was confused, because Letty is at the tower making the symbol, and GI is also making a symbol. So in my head, they were all at the same spot.
Maybe a very stupid sidestep, but am I the only one that doesn't understand why this bridge needs a roof?
Yeah.
Like why do you need a roof for a bridge like this?
It's a bridge over troubled water.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it makes cool scenery, that's for sure.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Exactly. But they are at the bridge, Montrose, Hippolyta, and Gia, and Larry and Ruby / Christina are at the tower. They start having a conversation, and then, of course, Larry starts realizing that Ruby is actually Christina. And what I found interesting here, and why I think that what Larry said at the cemetery didn't make an impact and didn't convince Ruby, at least not at that point, that she said to Larry that she will help her. Because Larry says, when they start having this conversation, and Larry starts realizing, like, oh no, something's wrong here. And then she says to Ruby, I'm really glad you agreed to help us at the cemetery. And she says this already with a scared face because she wants to see the reaction of Ruby. And then Ruby answers with, Ruby says, of course, you're my sister. And that's when Larry really realizes this is not my Ruby. So that's why I think that actually Ruby at the cemetery didn't agree to help Larry, because why would you use that line to test Ruby?
Yes, exactly. That was the hint to the... And then that's why also the surprise was that great that she came before they left in Chicago with the bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that strengthens my thinking that Ruby didn't want to help her, actually, and she's really on Christina's side.
Yeah.
But they have this fight, of course. Larry falls down on the ground.
And where is she putting the spell on her then?
Here, at this moment, she's saying that. I will show that to you later when we see the vision of Gia. But this is the exact moment. We don't get to see it in this scene, but in a later scene, we hear that at this point, she starts speaking the invulnerability spell. And
but
that's
it also directly implies that she must be alive and in love with each other, because otherwise, why would she...
Exactly, but that's exactly what I mean. I think they are in on this for some reason. I don't know what the bigger scheme is, but I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, I start to believe it also more.
So then we have Dee here reading a book in the car, and she reads a book.
Got very nervous.
Yeah. Here we saw Sven already a bit getting ready to get scared.
The second time I watched it, I can promise you guys, and I'm completely honest, I was not shocked.
Not shocked. I thought again.
That's good.
I had to laugh now because
good.
I had the image of myself.
Oh, really? Oh, nice. I gotta say, Sven, in your defense, I have these moments also in some movies that
of
I even
course.
had it in the cinema once that I jumped off like almost from my chair and everybody started laughing next to me. It's like, oh fuck, because I saw it coming and still I got scared also. So I also have these reactions sometimes.
Of course. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see her reading this book and she reads a text, and I wanted to know your interpretation of all this. The book that she reads says, he knew telling a story was a kind of power, but he also knew it wasn't enough. If they were ever truly gonna disrupt the hierarchy of warlocks, they would have to spill blood other than their own. And then, of course, later we see a Shogoth showing up. This is a white one that attacks the car as a black one shows up going into battle with the white one. So what did you take out of all of this?
If you say this sentence, it's exactly it implies that not only do the blood of Tics has to be spilled that night, but also the blood of Christina. That's what you just said. Now you said not that, but you said like not only the blood of your own must be spilled, but
he knew telling a story was a kind of power, but he also knew it wasn't enough. If they were ever truly going to disrupt the hierarchy of warlocks, they would have to spill blood other than their own.
Yeah, exactly. So that means besides Tics, also someone else has to be the blood, and that's Christina then, I think.
Yeah.
But I had another question for you guys.
What kind of book?
Sorry?
What kind of book would it be? Was it?
That's what I also don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing. But also, why the hell did they leave her there?
Yeah.
That makes there was no.
Yeah.
Like you lose almost to those two creepy girls with the spell, the curse, and then you just leave her there in the forest.
Yeah,
I think it's always set up in the end for. I think if there will be a second season, that Dee will be the bad guy. I think she struggles with a lot of things. I think the messages she reads also here get into her head, and she.
We know that she was the one who gave the book to Tic, of course, in the future. That's what you think.
Yes, with riots going on with white mobs. What if she is a bad guy in the future? And it's really a war going on there, where she also is a thriving factor in. And I would find that interesting, actually, because I think in this season it is sometimes like we touched on before, why I would like it also if Ruby and Christina are actually a love relationship, is that it's often too segregated in the storytelling. Also, I would like to get a bit more into joining powers, or at least get things a bit more mixed up, so to say.
Okay. Be interesting to see if it really goes as far as maybe you say and suggest. That could imply that she becomes like this over the top. She also becomes very good at magic. Maybe she has the Shogoth, of course, that also listens to her. Yeah. And maybe even that it would turn the tide that the black people will rule the white ones. But has there ever been a show that did this? I don't think so.
No, I think that's very, very likely, because also that's one other thing what they touch on, what they say, like, we took all the magic away from white people. Well, if it would be proper positive storytelling for me, I would think like, okay, nobody has magic now.
But it wasn't like it was really in your face a bit, like
people. But I think they're setting up things for season 2. That's what I think. And otherwise, I don't really get the message they want to get out with it.
Yeah.
But again, they didn't really, even this part. In a way, it's nice that you don't know exactly what is the idea then for season 2, but it's not strongly like written, put out there. The connections are not really good made, maybe then.
No, but it's maybe also because they don't know for sure yet if there will be a season 2, so they don't want to too much create a cliffhanger, so to say.
Yeah, true also.
But I think the setup of this all reminds me very much of Unbreakable Mr. Glass. I don't know if you've seen. It reminds me a bit of that. She is this tortured as a bit. I have the feeling she's developing a very pessimistic, negative view of the world. I get a feeling throughout this season.
She had huge balls and guts to step up to Lancaster already, and also Colin Picks. So she already had that correctly vibe towards him.
But she has a
fighting spirit, a rebellious side. Also, also when she was watching with her mother Hippolyta the stars. She was supporting her mother to shout out and to
she has this strong activism in her.
I think she could be like in the like the generation that came after her in the 60s and the 70s. You had like the civil rights movements. If they would go on to a second season, maybe they will take some elements out of that history, and maybe she would then be more on the violent part of resistance.
I think so, especially now with the robot arm and the Shogoth in her power, this big monster next to her. She has everything to become the villain. I think.
Maybe we get some Black Panther influences as well, because she has now this robot arm. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be really interesting. I would also find it cool to see where they, like, I didn't think about it, what you touched on now. Where will they go next? To which time frame? Will it be the 50s? Will it be 60s? Will it maybe be the 80s? I don't know. Where will they take it?
Or the future? Yeah,
far future. Yeah, will be interesting. But she reads this book, and then we, of course, get into the finale. We see that Tic is tied up to this machine. Christina enters all dressed in white. We see that the villagers bring the captured Christina, bring the captured Montrose, Gia, and Hippolyta in. Christina starts her spell, cuts Tic open, drinks her blood. We've seen also this. And then Tic's essence, so to say, is getting transferred to Christina. Well, like I said before, a nice detail here is that the dress colors red. You can see here. And then we get this scene. So this is interesting, of course. That
Sven was almost had a heart attack, but
we see Letty waking up.
Yeah.
Poor lady, exactly.
We see that she has the mark of Cain again on her belly, which was, of course, gone first.
Yeah.
Then she runs up to the ruins to see a Tic dying, and she stabs Christina. Christina says then, of course, she's immortal now, that she came too late. And then we see this, I found your remark fun in the live viewing. Koen, I also had to think about that, the monster from Lost.
Yeah. Or if you see it like it can even be Voldemort, that just goes... Yeah, but it reminded me a lot of the monster of Lost, exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. And now that I've watched it back a second time, I thought what the shaman meant probably when she said for Gia that she has to get into the darkness, or she has to become one with the darkness. I think that was a vision of that she has to step in here, because then she says, I have to get up there.
Yeah. She realized the connection, yeah.
I have the same link for me.
Yeah, I didn't have it at first, but it was quite cool.
Yeah.
So she remembers the words. She puts her tentacles out. She becomes she lets the what's the name? The Cameo. Yeah.
Kumio.
She lets it out. Connects Tic and Christina with each other, of course, because they need the connection to get the power of Christina away. And then we start seeing these images, this vision. And well, this is something that, if you look at this image, then you could say like, okay, maybe it was that Christine, because she stands with her hands crossed, looking at Ruby. So maybe it could be that she called her. But yeah, this could be a trapped look. But it's so many interpretations you could give it. And then we see here a Tic and Dee. And this is why I know for sure that it was the Shogoth down there, not only because of the sounds, but apparently Tic trained Dee to handle the Shogoth, and that's also why the Shogoth listens to Dee, of course, in the end of this episode.
Exactly.
So is he wearing is it the number on the shirt? Is that from that famous baseball player? Maybe.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
Silver Summers, I think.
Look it up.
Yeah, for sure it was 656.
Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah.
No, 42.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually, yeah.
If someone knows what 56, if it has a meaning, let us know in the comments. So we see here how they tame the beast, so to say. So Dee learns how to control it.
Yeah.
Then we see here Christina standing next to the bed of Ruby. Well, she seems to be
taking the blood.
Yeah, well, she's sleeping or in a coma, but at least it seems like she's not definitely dead. At least.
No.
Well, we see here Tic giving the letter that's intended for Montrose. He gives it to Hippolyta. So here you could already, in all these scenes, you could see that he was really preparing for his death, setting up things, helping Dee, giving the letter to Hippolyta. And so what I also found funny in the end, I saw that Hippolyta was least shocked of them all about what's happening to Tic. I thought like, oh, she doesn't have much emotion, but she was already prepared apparently for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was talking about, what you can see here, why I think when they removed the arm, that was in this room, because as you can see, there's quite some blood and stuff in here. So I think this is the room where they removed the arm of Dee and gave her the robot arm.
Yeah.
Here she gets the
Montrose Freeman.
Yeah, the letter. Here, and this is the scene, Sven. Oh, you can't hear it now, of course, but this is where you hear her put the spell and saving Letty.
Yeah.
A last hug between Montrose and Tic. Another shot of Ruby. I'm not sure. I think this is also different clothes already that she's wearing than we saw her in the scene before wearing, by the way.
Yeah, the crucial scene in the basement. She had
different clothes, right? Yeah, more like a bathrobe, so to say. But
after.
Yeah. After something, but we don't know for sure what. And then we see, of course, in the end, we see Christina here laying, and then Letty walks up and says, it's not going to work. And then Christina says, you bound me from magic. And Letty says, not just you, every white person in the world. Well, that's what we touched on before. Might be a setup for next season. Then Hippolyta gives the letter to Tic or to Montrose.
But yeah, this I found really heartbreaking.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Great acting again from. Help me, the name again. I lost. I'm really bad with the
Montrose.
Yeah, okay, Montrose, but
Michael K. Williams.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
How he was putting away his belief that his son is dead, and
wake up, boy.
Yeah, and his eyes, his face. It was like in the other scene I described with the mother, Tic watching his mother, and this I found it actually the only two really scenes where I felt emotion.
Yeah.
And, so in that sense, this episode was a bit lacking.
Because it was too much, and I think they didn't give you the time to really.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, okay. So he gets this letter, and then we hear in this letter a quote by Alexander Dumas again, which is of course the writer of the Count of Monte Cristo. That's the book that was very heavily featured in the series, the favorite book of Montrose. And then at the very end, we see Christina still helpless on the ground, and then the Shogoth shows up together with Dee and her robot arm. Dee walks up to her, holding the robot arm to Christina's neck. And when she walks up, she says, they still haven't learned. And I put it out there for you. They still haven't learned. What could be your interpretation for that? I have an idea, but did you have an idea on it?
Yeah, I was also wondering when I was watching it what it could be. Of course, you make the link to white versus black and equality, but it was not really. It left a lot of space for interpretation. It could be referring to the actual state where America is in at the moment, politically and as a society. I think that could be a hint from the scriptwriter and the director. Yeah. You could.
Yeah, no, hard to tell exactly what you say. It could be a link to the situation now because it's still even more relevant than it was then. I think even in some way. It's hard, I think, to fill in.
I think either way, how you want to fill it in, I think I can come to no other conclusion that she, like you said, Sven, she is taking a harsh approach, and this must be a character-defining moment for her when it comes to character writing, that she, well, so to say, turns to the dark side, because
she becomes like from activist to full hands-on.
Exactly, because if it's the white people, well, okay, then it's clear what her solution is killing them. If it's like, I was also thinking maybe it's the other ones that left her alive, like Laddie and all those that left Christina laying there to leave alive. Okay, then she also takes the decision to kill her. I connected all.
It's a side note, Bas. You say to killing them. I think it's to kill the bad ones. I think that's what she wants to do.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, of course, I don't mean the whole community. But
no. I mean, like you say, she wants to kill the white. I think she's like also maybe it will.
These white people, the bad ones. Exactly. Yeah. Well, good to clarify. Yeah.
And also to jump onto that, maybe also the thing with the comic, maybe she and her mom will start to kick ass in season 2, something like this. Like it will become a different story, maybe even.
Yeah,
you don't see it go that way, man.
Yeah, could be
like some kind of like superheroes against the bad white people.
Could be, but I hope they will take it more into this direction, because if they don't, I do have more trouble with the messages sent out in this season than if they leave it at this.
Maybe
I think it's a bit too.
No, it still has to do with the whole social part that will become also season 2. It's not like suddenly we're gonna go Inglourious Basterds on white people or something. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I think what you say about to make a team with Hippolyta, that they're gonna rewrite history or something. That could be a twist.
That could be could be interesting, but I still find it interesting that she kills Christina. That I find that if you have it about character development, I find that a hard place for her as a young girl to as a writer. Now she's just completely sane.
Yeah.
I feel this is a character defining moment. If a young girl like this does this, then that's something about what's brewing in her, so to say.
Yeah, what we can expect from her also. Like her soul starts to break already in a way when you can do this at that young age. True. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's.
Yeah.
But I'm still not sure who she refers to. I was like at first thought what you also said, Sven, but then I was thinking maybe she referred to the group, to Larry and to Hippolyta, that they left Christina there alive, and that they should have killed her. That they still haven't learned that you can't do it the soft way, so to say.
Yeah. Well, that could be like, and then you come into this civil rights movements, where you also had different
approaches, opinions.
You had Martin Luther King, you had Malcolm X.
The Panthers versus the more older ones.
Yeah, definitely, and they touched on that also quite sometimes, of course, in this series. So,
although Malcolm X was not killing on purpose people, we have to be saying
true.
This action of Dee is also not fitting in that.
Goes way beyond their ideology. Yeah.
And that's why I find it. Maybe I would have thought different about it. Like I said, if Christina was communicated as the purely bad guy, but because she isn't. There's less motivation, or this moment is less earned also. So that if I think I think that this series has good writers, so then I think must be a character defining moment for Dee why they do this.
Yeah,
I would say, and not for us to feel they killed her feelings, so to say.
Yeah, but also wasn't like that. He didn't feel like, they finally murdered. No, it was.
Maybe that's us. That could be. I'm also very interested to hear from our viewers what they felt with all these things that we are talking about.
Yeah,
because we are just, of course, three guys talking about it. Maybe there's people that have very different opinions and views on these scenes. I'm very interested to hear that. To hear what you think. The one last scene that we have, of course, is at the very end. We have this scene with the Shogoth, and it reminded me of first thing was Godzilla / King Kong. King Kong on the tower. You guys said Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I think
so I started Googling a little bit, and first, because the first name that came up with me was King Kong, and it could be enough. Maybe it's too far-fetched, but apparently King Kong is by a lot of critics. It was a 1933 movie, of course, but it's seen as a kind of a racist allegory, symbolically depicting white America's view of black people at the time. Many film scholars believe that the capturing and chaining of Kong is metaphorically linked to the U.S. slave trade.
Oh, okay.
Which could be, of course, very interesting, because I had the feeling it was connected to one of those moments. And what's also interesting in King Kong is that the love, so to say, between a white woman and a black ape. And there's also apparently film scholars warning about that it's a cautionary tale for interracial love. If you then look at Ruby and Christina, maybe this is all way too far-fetched, but this is, I found it interesting.
But it seemed for nothing at the end. Like it was too much focused on just me nothing, I think.
It must have a meaning, indeed.
Yeah, and it was also for me putting a comma, like that there's something coming after. Instead of ending of the whole series, it was for me so much of not like a final point of this story that of course you could end theoretically, but practically it was such a giving much more to expect.
Yeah.
No.
Definitely.
But not giving away too much, because otherwise they could have used a scene like the Shogoth walking alongside Dee, like into the distance.
Yeah.
Like, okay, they're up to no fucking good, like.
Yeah.
the shit is about to hit the fan. But
yeah, but that also gives more. I think it also something to do. Maybe they would have had a different end if they knew there was a season 2. I think they also want to create an ending that could be open, but could also be closed, so to say. And then Dee, of course, walking off with a Shogoth next to her, that creates really the tension. Like, okay, there will be more.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, one more thing why I think it could connect to Kong. They also said the rebellion by Kong is seen as movement by the natives to overthrow the colonists' power, whereas the killing of Kong in the end signifies the crushing of that rebellion by brute force. So that way it could be changing the narrative, of course, because this Shogoth stays alive where Kong is shot off that tower, of course, in that famous scene. So I'm really... If someone reads something about this scene and what the makers mean with it, I'm very interested what the interpretation is.
Yeah, indeed.
I do wonder how you keep this animal like hidden away in a suburban neighborhood, but that's a different question, I think.
Well, Dee is going to rule the world now.
Yeah, that's true. Dee's gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. So, anything more to add about what things that we saw in this episode?
Well, we didn't talk about how Tics was carried away.
Beautiful. Yeah.
On a carrier with the family. You were listening to his last words.
Yeah.
He was pointing to Montrose to see it as a new start, to raise his son in the way he always wanted to be a father, instead of making the generational mistakes of using violence, and also be, I think, spiritual free, because he came now out that he is gay. So that's what we didn't discuss, but I wanted to mention it. So I think that's it. And there was a lot in this episode. Was a big breakdown. I think there's still a lot to discuss also in a review later on. But I did enjoy this episode. It has flaws again, like more in this series. But overall, I went for a roller coaster ride, and at least there were some plot twists, which I also always like, and which were not signaled, like the Ruby thing, for example. Ruby Christina thing was really a surprise to me, so that was cool. Yeah, guys. So then this was the breakdown for the last episode of Lovecraft Country. Sadly enough, we hope that there will be a season 2 and we can make. It's a wrap. We hope that we can make much more breakdowns in the future. Of course, on this channel, we will keep a very close eye on news around this second season of Lovecraft, but also news about Misha Green and the famous great actors in this series, everybody in it. We will follow their careers because I think we were all quite impressed by them.
Yeah, also Jordan Peele touches. That's also why we go, of course, for Get Out.
Yeah, Jordan Peele, of course, also involved in this production. So we will do a live reaction sometime soon to Get Out, and also his second movie, Us, I believe. Yes, get ready, Sven.
Yeah, the second one is even more fucked up, I think.
I didn't see that one yet. Did you see them?
I tried to watch it with Anna 10 times, but she doesn't want to watch the second movie. And I said,
No.
I said, why don't watch it alone? I said, check the trailer. I don't want to watch it alone. It's terrifying.
Well, that's good that we then the three of us can watch it together. Yeah, so first Get Out, and then Us is later on also on the schedule. So if you want to stay updated on those kind of things, and you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. If you're subscribed, also don't forget to give us a little like, and don't forget to talk with us, because we really appreciated that so far. And we put a lot of things out here, opinions and those kind of things, but we also really like to hear, of course, when you think we're full of peep, but also when you agree with us, because then we can have fun conversations all together.
Yeah, or if we're like completely wrong and you have some super cool opening for us that we're like shocked by, that's even more.
Exactly, another theory. Throw it out there.
Let us know. Yeah.
All right, guys. It was nice doing this breakdown with you, and see you next time.
Ciao.